All right. Shalom, shalom to the whole full elect of the nation of Israel. I'm going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rukakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders and the bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, Bahashem, Yahushai. And I've taught them this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy, all right, to the whole full elect. Starting with the 144,000 that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. The rest of you that sincerely believe as well. Peace and mercy to your household. So, coming back again with another lesson, another video, and I want to touch on, as you see the topic here, nothing new under the sun, and that phrase, all right, as most of you do know, comes from the scriptures. And the topic concerning that phrase I want to touch on is Esau's wand. Okay, a lot of you newer believers, man, this stuff you're not really aware of in terms of. I mean, you might know the witchcraft and everything else, but it gets deeper. All right, simply put, it gets deeper. A lot of you older brothers already understand and know this, so this just might be a refresher for you. But for you newer believers, this is it's very important to have an illustration of what we read in the scriptures, and now this truth is out there. This devil, we're in a time of this devil being exposed completely, and so the information is out there, so it's very easy to get an illustration of what the scriptures are talking about, and it builds up your faith, as well, because you can now see it in your mind's eye. So I got this clip here queued up. This is from this guy, The Truth Is. He does a lot of videos going into the occult and the industry and so on and so forth. I think he's a Christian too. But he does some pretty good videos, gets a lot of information. So as you see, this video is entitled "Hollywood Doesn't Want You to Know This About the Oscars." Now, going into the topic, Esau's wand, right? And if you haven't guessed already, that wand is Hollywood, right? Esau's wand is Hollywood. So before I play this clip, this is fair use, fair use, fair use. I don't claim any ownership or rights to this video. I'm only using this video for educational purposes only. So it's fair use, fair use, fair use, and I'm not making any money from this video at all. All right. If brothers want to watch a lot more videos that he brings out, a lot of lessons to be done by the videos this guy does. A lot of topics. You can go ahead and follow or subscribe. But anyhow, low will in this video is gonna get strike, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and play. So I'm gonna get certain clips of this video and then bring out precepts concerning Esau's wand. And and you know what? Let me open up with this precept, since I quoted it. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 1. And I don't think I've read this in NLT before. I might have just once. So I'll get this in NLT. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. And this whole chapter is nice. So verse 9, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and 9, and it reads, history in the NLT, history merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new, right? Sometimes people say, here is something new, but actually it is old. Nothing is ever truly new. And this is why starting with the apostles and elders on down. Here at Great Millstone, we teach reincarnation. Reincarnation is a biblical concept. Okay, you cannot have the 100% understanding of the Bible without the understanding of reincarnation. Because Esau, Edom, this devil, right, which is a so-called white man. Not every so-called white person is an Edomite, right? But the Edomites, they're not creative, right? They're just deceptive. So what they do, and furthermore, going back to their descendant Cain, right? The spirit that's in Cain is the same spirit that's in Esau. They are a fugitive and they're a vagabond. So everything they have, they've stolen it. All their riches, right? They have stolen it, and they've stolen it through deceit, right? Witchcraft, right? Murdering, ultimately the weapon. So when you look at, Hollywood and everything it represents, and, the witchcraft that stems from it's not new. All right. It's all old practices of ultimately going back to the Hamites. All right. Or later on, they were known as, the descendants of Ham, going back to Cain. Hence why Abraham cursed Cain, that he should be a servant, all right, of Shem, which were that royal or righteous seed would come out of, later on being called the Israelites. So Esau has taken the practices of the Egyptians, which are Hamites, right, and the Canaanites and their own selves as the Romans and the Greeks, which they got it from the Egyptians, all right, and has repackaged it, and is now, basically casting a spell on the whole world with the same ancient time sorceries and practices. All right, but those that are of the hopeful elect, all right, we're we have the light, we have the eyes to see through this devil. So verse 10, Ecclesiastes 1:10 says, sometimes people say, let me read 9 again. It says, history merely repeats itself. It has all been done before. Nothing under the sun is truly new. Sometimes people say here is something new, but actually it is old. Nothing is ever truly new. We don't remember what happens in the past, right? So we're born, we come back in every 3 to 4 generations, but you don't remember your past life. This is why we're immensely blessed, all right? Those of us, that sincerely believe and fear Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, we're immensely blessed to have this truth. Just to be called to this truth is a glory in itself, right? And then the glory after that is enduring unto the end, right? And not switching sides, right, at the very end and taking the MOTB. Even if it requires your life. That's, the glory that comes with that endurance, all right? And that's really when you're chosen, the elect are being chosen. It's a glory that that's of the celestial that will be on the terrestrial, right? A glory of the heavens that will be on earth, which is what you call extraterrestrial bodies, right? That will be rooted in perfection when it comes to righteousness, perfectly righteous. That's another glory. So just being called to this truth is a glory in and of itself, man, because this whole world is beguiled by the wand of Esau, Edom. So it says, we don't remember, and now we're being brought back to our remembrance. That's right. We don't remember what happened in the past, and in future generations, no one will remember what we are going to do now. And that's not true for the elect, because this is it. All right. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So what is being done now will be remembered for a very long time. The elect and everything that they endured, right, through their faith and fear in Yahweh Shai will be remembered. Esau, Edom, your wickedness, eventually will fade away. It won't be remembered. But hey, America is going to be a sign of that. That whore, all right, is going to be a sign of Esau's wickedness. So there will be a remembrance of that. This is the time. All right, so let's play this video and
into it. There There is something about Hollywood that so many people gravitate to it. People don't know what it is exactly, but it might be the glitz and glamour of the business, the bright lights and cameras that hoard all the masses' attention. To many, Hollywood almost seems like a magical place where anything is possible and fiction is brought to life. If you have gone to an AMC movie theaters in the last 3 years, you might have seen this AMC ad they show right before the movie starts. In this ad, Nicole Kidman states out of her own mouth, "We come to this place for magic."
We come to this place for magic.
What does she really mean by that? What is the movie magic Hollywood is often talking about? Well, in order to understand what they're referring to with movie magic, we must first understand where Hollywood even comes from. As innocent as the word Hollywood sounds, it actually has some rather dark history to it. What most people don't know is that the word Hollywood comes from the ancient Celtic Druids. See, the Druids were pagans who saw themselves as magicians and believed that through magic and rituals, they can reshape their reality. The Druids thought that magic was real, and they used it for many reasons. They believed magic would keep them safe during the winter. They also believed that magic would grant them safety and protection, using magic for all sorts of reasons. The way the Druids would access this magic was by using holly trees. See, the Druids believed that the holly tree was the source to this magic, believing that the trees themselves were the homes of the gods they worshipped. So these Druids were known to cut down these holly trees and use the Hollywood of the tree to craft themselves holly wands. These holly tree wands were made from Hollywood, and this is actually the origin of the wand itself. It's why wands are associated with magic, because the Druids routinely used them during magical rituals.
Right? So, going into Hollywood, so you heard him. He broke that down. Going back to the holly tree, right? But showing you that this idea that the Druids had is not a new idea. Let's look up what was the era of the Druids. I know I misspelled that. The era of the Druids is fourth. The Druids are religious and a social order flourished from roughly 4th century BC, right? So what, 4th century BC to about 2nd century AD, right? It's about 500 to 600 years up until, about 300-400 years before Yahushua and about 200 to 300 years after him. Primarily in the religions of Britain, Ireland, and parts of Northern Gaul, right? So that's the era of the Druids. Now, what was the era of Assyrians taking over Israel? Just giving you guys a timeline, okay? And then I'm going to get the precepts. Oh my goodness, my spelling's crazy. Okay. This is between 600 and 500 BCE. In ancient Israel, the kingdom of Judah faced the destruction of Jerusalem, the temple, by the Babylonians. Okay. So the Assyrians took over the northern kingdom, which is the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Judah and kingdom of Israel. Before that, the Druids were around what? 3rd, 6th century. We're talking about, 3rd century BC. I'm just looking for a timeline here. It has to be 7 something BC. Yeah, the nearest, yeah, there you go. The northern kingdom. Oh, Thawada. Yeah, 721 BC. Yep. Hey, and shalom to the brothers and sisters on the common board that are watching. Shalom. But yeah, the northern kingdom of Israel was destroyed around 720 BC when it was conquered by the Neo-Assyrian Empire. So if the Druids came on the scene in the 3rd century, this was happening. The Israelites were getting into this practice before the Druids about 400 years, 300 years prior. Okay. So let's get the precept. Now he said, actually, I'll get the precepts and then I'm going to go into the word groves. This is why you gotta look things up, man. You gotta look things up. So this is 2 Kings 19 or 17 and 9. I'm gonna read down to 13. So 2 Kings 17 and 9, and it reads, the people of Israel had also secretly, and this is an NLT, has secretly done many things that were not pleasing to the Lord Yahweh, their power. They built pagan shrines for themselves in all their towns, from the smallest outpost to the largest walled city. Here's the point. They set up sacred pillars and Asherah poles, right? Which is at the top of every hill and under every green tree. So the tree, all right, the worshiping of trees and um, committing wicked practices to idols of the heathens, all right, around trees. It's not a new concept. We were doing it 400 years before the Druids so-called came out with it. Right, verse 11. They offer sacrifices on all the hilltops, just like the nations the Lord Yahweh had driven from the land ahead of them. What land is that talking about? Right, Canaan, right, which belonged to the Canaanites, which is where Israel is today. So that shows you that the Canaanites, which are descendants of the Hamites, were already into those practices. So the people of Israel had done many evil things, arousing the Lord's anger. Yes, they worship idols despite the Lord's specific and repeated warnings. It says, again and again, the Lord Yahweh had sent his prophets and seers. You see? And aren't we being sent out again and again? You know, brothers are doing lessons every day, constantly warning Israel. Okay? We are first a prophet to the nation of Israel, but we're also prophets to the nations, right? To the heathenistic nations. So it says, again and again, the Lord Yahweh has sent his prophets and seers, right? It's the same word, to warn both Israel and Judah, turn from all your evil ways, obey my commands and decrees. And just like they knew the demands and decrees, which, you know, that's likened to them being being aware of the truth. Okay. Hey, shalom, shalom, Akia, Yahweh Bashim Shabrakatha, brother from South Holland, shalom. And shalom to the elder here, Yahweh Bashim Shabrakatha, shalom. But as you see, it says, turn from all your evil ways, obey my commands and decrees, the entire law that I commanded your ancestors to obey. So, just like Israel back then was aware of the law, statutes, commandments, and you got Israelites today that are aware of the truth today, they're merging their heritage with the world, with Egypt, right, with America. You know, that's why, you know, nothing's really changed. That's why you have these camps doing what? They're having rap concerts at the Passover. That's the same shit. Nothing's new. Israel was doing it back then, and they're doing it again today. So the entire law that I commanded your ancestors to obey, and that I gave you through my servants, the prophets. And that's why we're here today. The Lord has woken up the prophets again today. All right, to what? Do the exact same thing that they did before. Now, going into groves. I just looked up groves, right? Because in the King James, when you read that precept, you see the word groves instead. Okay, so you look up the word groves, and there's so much, you know, Esau's technology is so crazy now that you don't even have to like go into certain things. You just type up the word groves and AI will give you a breakdown. It's mad. But anyways, knowledge shall increase, right? It says in King James versions, groves often translates to Hebrew word asherah, which is it says, which, while not a literal grove, likely refers to an idol or image often associated with sacred trees used in ancient pagan religions, right? Yeah, it says the The Asherah is not a literal grove or wood, but rather an idol or image, possibly symbolic of sacred tree that was part of ancient pagan religious practices, which I bet you anything, these heathens, they probably connect us to the tree of life as well, because they get everything from us, thinking that the trees should be worshipped. And this is why, you know, you heathens are bugged out, man. And Jake, you're even more bugged out than the heathens. It says, in the religions of the ancient heathen world, right? Groves and sacred trees played a prominent role in religious worships. Right there, it's automatically pagan, okay? Yeah, that's it on that. So let's continue on with this clip.
And the people who are behind, for instance,
You know what? Let me get this precept too. It's a good precept. This is from GMS history of Yaikwab, Judges 3 and 7 in the King James. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, and forgot that the Lord Yahweh, their power, and serve Balaam and the groves. Exactly. What's this? Symbolism. Some scholars believe Asherah poles symbolize the. Ooh, call all y'all about shy. I should have sent you a link. Oh shit, nice. Some scholars believe Asherah poles symbolize the tree of life or fertility goddess. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, let's play this clip.
to give you an example. In the old Celtic Druidic system in Northern Europe, what we would call the white man's established system in Northern Europe, there was a very powerful priesthood called the Celtic Druids. And in the Druidic Celtic system, one of the most important symbols in that system, that ancient system, we're talking about even 500 to 1,000 years before the Roman Empire, the Celtic Druidic system was in operation in Northern Europe. One of the most important symbols has come down to us today, and that is the magic wand, like Merlin the magician with his magic wand, Mickey Mouse with his, the conductor of an orchestra with his fantasia wand, fantasia. The magic wands were always made out of the wood of a holly tree. It was always made out of hollywood. Consequently, they're still working their magic in Hollywood, because the holly tree, that was very sacred to the ancient magicians, the ancient Celtic Druid magicians.
The Druids used their holly tree wands made from Hollywood to cast spells. Today, Hollywood is now the film industry, where movies and shows are used like the holly wands to cast spells on the audience. This is what Hollywood is referring to when they speak about.
Right. So you hear what he said, right? The televisions and the movies are used as a wand to cast spells, right? So this is what I did. I just searched up just to show you, because we did a lesson yesterday on the nations have drunken of the wine, right, of Babylon. So you know what? Let me not run ahead. I'll play a little bit more and then I'll get this out.
The Druids used their holly tree wands made from Hollywood to cast spells. Today, Hollywood is now the film industry, where movies and shows are used like the holly wands to cast spells on the audience. This is what Hollywood is referring to when they speak about movie magic. They're referring to the Druids and the holly trees. They're referring to using this magic on the viewers to shape their reality, just like the Druids did all those centuries ago. Now, this obviously connects to the Oscar award.
Right. So they use this to shape your reality. So the people of the world, they have a false sense of reality, and that's why we're hated as prophets, because as coming out of the world via this truth, right, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, by our faith, we see things for what they really are. Okay, so anyways, like I said, I just looked up how many American television programs are played across the globe, right? And again, AI with the breakdown. It says, it's impossible to give an exact number of American television programs played globally, but American television content is very popular and widely distributed, with many shows and networks having a significant international presence. Here's a breakdown of why it's difficult. Anyways, it says ubiquitous distribution. American television programs are distributed globally through various means, including cable, right? Satellite, which that's an advancement. Cable satellite networks, streaming services, and online platforms. So this man, his sorcery and witchcraft is being worked in all facets of entertainment, right? And people's everyday lives, because everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a cell phone. Okay. Popularity. It says many American TV shows and networks are incredibly popular internationally, leading to widespread distribution and viewing. Look, and this is like it says here. American examples of popular American networks programs. Big three networks: ABC, CBS, and NBC are major U.S. networks that have a significant international presence. So that's the news, and that's why people are bugged out. They don't really know what's going on. Even if you watch the news, and let's say I didn't know this truth, but I was following this guy that I'm sharing the video of, I'll still be bugged out, because you still need the Holy Spirit to properly navigate through this man's witchcraft. Streaming services, American streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus have a massive global reach, offering a wide variety of American content. Right? Popular shows, many American TV shows such as The Simpsons, that's a heavy psyop. Sesame Street, yep, another one. Friends are known and loved worldwide. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. It says, this is from History of Reichwab again. Hollywood, the American film industry, has a profound global influence, shaping cultural landscapes, influencing global perceptions. Wow. And impacting the film industry worldwide. AI. Yeah, it's AI's definition. Hollywoodization. The influence of Hollywood has led to a phenomenon called Hollywoodization, where other film industries, particularly in Asia, adopt Hollywood production styles, and it says, and dressings. You see, this man was given great power, right? He was given great power. Now I'm gonna get this precept, Revelation 18 and 3. Okay, Revelation 18 and 3. Okay, and we're gonna look up a couple words in this in these two verses. So Revelation 18 and 3, and it reads, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, right? And entertainment is just one facet. We did a lesson on financial, right? And then you have education, you have medicine, and even dressing, clothing, right? And the kings of the earth have committed, right, the rulers of all these countries, which work hand in hand with Esau, Edom. Read Psalms 83, okay? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, right? Going into the entertainment. That's a delicacy to the mind. Hence why it's used as witchcraft and sorcery, right, to control the minds of the people. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, right? And that first starts with this truth, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? And enduring to the end. But then it's actually going to physically play out with the elect being beamed up into chariots, right? Because there's a judgment that comes with this devil's witchcraft, a heavy judgment, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive none of her plagues. Okay, so let's look up. First word is wine. Okay. Wine, and this is in the Greek.
Strong's G 3631, oinos. Oinos.
Okay, so it says wine, metaphor, fiery wine of God's wrath, right? And when we go to the Thayer's Greek, right, it says right here. Oh, skipped ahead. Okay, so it says here, definition B, metaphorically, okay, fiery wine, which God, which, Yahweh Bashim Shai is, which Yahweh Bashim Shai in his wrath is represented as mixing and giving to those whom he is about to punish. So take this in, by their own folly and madness. So the people that are meant to be beguiled by Esau are set up to be beguiled by Esau, by the Heavenly Father, so they can be partakers of drinking of the wrath, right? As it says here, which Yahweh in his wrath is represented as mixing and giving to those whom he is about to punish. So he could have kept us in this wine, right? But he took us out of it via, through his son, via the Holy Spirit, by their own folly and madness. Revelation 14:10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, right? Which ultimately is going to be those missiles. And he shall, that's why this place has to be burnt with fire. You understand? Because this place is completely wicked. It's gone. Okay, and it says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Revelation 16:19. And the great city, right, America, okay, and the wand of America is Hollywood, was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and and great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahweh, Bashim Shai. Because the Lord said, what? Because you thought that because I kept quiet, roughly paraphrasing, you thought I was altogether as thyself. But the remembrance of your wickedness is being brought up through the prophets. Because what's bringing the remembrance back? The truth, prophecy. Okay, everything that's been written down, you're doing it. So you have to be the man. America has to be Babylon. It says to give unto her the cup of the wine of his fierceness of his wrath. All right. Oh, yeah, this was interesting too. Look at this. So it says winer's grammar. Okay. A love potion, right? Winer's grammar. A love potion, as it were wine exciting to fornicate, right? Which is what he does. This is why he's pushing witchcraft, because ultimately he's an accuser of the brethren. The top wicked leader looking for the Israelites that are supposed to be waking up to truth, and he's trying to basically accuse the brethren, right? Because he really thinks he can fight against the Most High, or fight against the will of the Most High, rather, which he is said to give to entice others to idolatry. So that's what this witchcraft is all about, right? It's a love potion that Esau gives to entice everybody else, all right, and particularly the Israelites, all right, to idolatry, and that's not new, okay? And now winer's grammar. Now, funny enough, when you look up the word grammar, it actually goes into a spell. So where did I get that word? Yeah, grammar. Like the word, like for instance, grimoire. The grimoire, a book, grimoire, it's a book of spells. That word grimoire, look it up. It goes back to the word grammar, right? And the etymology, when you look up grammar, it says what? Latin grammar, rules of Latin, right? It says grammar, learning. It says especially Latin and philology, whatever. Anyways, the point is also magic, incantation, spells, mumbo jumbo, right? Irregular, semi-popular adoption. But the main point is what? Magic, incantation, spell, mumbo jumbo. Okay? Showing you this guy's a base person. He has the whole world fooled that and beguiled that we're moving forward, that his technology, his version, right, his light, which the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, is advancing us, and it's not advancing us. Okay, we're going completely backwards because everything that he's doing and claiming to be able to do it's already of the earth. You can already heal all kinds of sicknesses through herbs, right? Because he's using his technology to say he's going to cure the blind. He's going to do all that, but that's backwards. All right, it's not progressive. So the grammar, right? English. That's why English is such a messed up language, because it's really an incantation. It's really a spell. All right. So grammar is wine, man. Grammar is wine. Okay. Slacker. Now we looked up wine. Now we'll look up drunk, which goes back to drink. I've drunk up the wine. All right.
Strong's G 4095. Pinot.
Okay. So it says to drink figuratively, to receive into the soul what serves to refresh strength. But it depends what you're strengthening. Are you strengthening the spirit? Are you strengthening the flesh? Right? So when you drink of something, it's a metaphor. If you drink of knowledge, that's what? To receive into the soul what serves to refresh strength. What serves to refresh, strengthened, nourished it unto life eternal. So basically, the perspective, right? The perspective that the majority of the world, all right, really outside of the elect, that they have on life is actually tainted, and it's a false sense of reality because they're beguiled by Esau's witchcraft and sorcery, i.e. Hollywood. Okay. So they've drunk up the wine. Just wondering if there's any more in here. No, that's basically it. Oh yeah, see, it has a word grammar here too again. Right, grammar. Okay, anyways. Okay. So now let's go fornication, which we always go into this word, but it doesn't hurt to go into it again one more time. So fornication.
Strong's G 4202. Parnaya.
Right, and I'm going to deal with this definition. It says metaphor, the worship of idols, says of defilement of idolatry, it says as incurred by eating the sacrifices offered by idols. Now, this is basically what Adam and Eve did when they ate of the fruit, right? They basically partook in practices, all right, that were revering the gods of the heathens, all right, the idols of the heathens. And this is what this devil, Esau, Edom, all right, has caused the whole world to do. The whole world. All right, and it doesn't matter if you don't got certain what's it called? Certain social media platforms, you definitely have something else. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna get to the etymology of this word. So it says, look at this. It says to prostitute one's body to the lust of another. Right. So that's what Israel has done. Right. They have and that's what Esau has gotten the world to do, to prostitute their bodies, all right, to the lust of another God, in particular Israel, because what Romans 12:1, our bodies are supposed to be a living sacrifice unto the Heavenly Father. Hey, don't you know in our law that the firstborn son actually belongs to the Heavenly Father? Right, the firstborn son, all right, belongs. That's what Samuel's mother did. She prayed for her son, and she basically promised her son to the Heavenly Father. right? And the Lord told told us that, right? The firstborn of your cattle, that's an offering to the Heavenly Father. But these heathens, they take it and they pervert it, and they literally give up their children into fire, right? Because they're dead mentally. They have no understanding. They weren't built to understand the Lord. They were built to learn to understand the Lord from the Israelites, starting with the elect. Okay, it says to give oneself to unlawful sexual intercourse. Yeah, and basically, adultery is just a physical form of idolatry. Idolatry, if you understand what I'm saying, is a spiritual form of adultery. Idolatry is when, again, Israelites go and worship idols, right? That's like cheating on the Most High, because we're His spiritual woman. So a man's taking another man's woman, all right, is likened to the same thing. If that makes sense. It says metaphor, to be given to idolatry, to worship idols, to permit oneself to be drawn away by another into idolatry. Straight. All right. So one more precept, and I'll play a little bit more of this clip. Isaiah 30:1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me," right? "And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit." That's right. "That they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt," right? "And have not asked at my mouth," which are who? The prophets. Okay? "To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh," right? His technology, his knowledge, his so-called light. "And to trust," because the modern day Pharaoh is Esau, Edom. Okay? "And to trust in the shadow of Egypt." That's that protection, right? And also the mindset. You want to trust into the mindset, the false sense of reality that Esau, Edom is presenting. Our people love it. They love it. Okay? And that shadow ultimately, right, like I said, going into protection is going to lead to the MOTB, which is the heaviest form of idolatry and witchcraft that this guy is going to perform on the whole world. Okay? And they that are drunk of it are surely gonna drink. They're gonna drink. It says verse 3, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion." Because the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. It's not going to save you in the day of the Lord's destruction. It's the day of the Lord's judgment. That's why the Lord is sending His prophets, week in and week out, in season, out of season, to warn the people, to warn you Israelites. The majority of you won't listen anyways, because that's just how the Most High, that's His movie. Okay, these lessons are really only for the elect, to keep us in the spirit. Okay. Okay, so let's continue on. Let's skip down here.
If you look at the Oscar ceremonies, you notice a lot of esoteric occult symbolism displayed during the award show. The logo for the Oscars is usually a golden man statue standing inside of a triangle, which to those who know anything about the occult know that this is a reference to alchemy. The statue itself is a replica of the Egyptian pagan god Ptah. This is not surprising at all, as most occult systems utilize the Egyptian gods for their rituals and rites. The Oscars is all about this holly tree magic, and I can prove that 100%. One of the most influential secret societies today is the Freemasons, and they're intertwined with Hollywood. The Freemasons are a secret organization heavily rooted in esoteric occult teachings. They're all about the mystery school teachings. The Academy Award, which gives out the Oscar Awards, was created by a man by the name of Louis B. Mayer, who was the co-creator of MGM Studios. Louis was instrumental in the founding of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in 1927. Now, no surprise at all, Louis B. Mayer was in fact a 33rd degree Freemason. He was a part of the Cecil Lodge number 568. Many of the founding fathers of the entertainment business were all Freemasons. Jack Warner, the founder of Warner Bros., was a Freemason as well. Tom Mix, another important figure in the start of the entertainment business, was also a Freemason. Cecil B. DeMille was also another Freemason. These are considered three of the most important people behind the founding of Hollywood. Hollywood was created by Freemasons. The Freemasons are using the holly tree magic to shape their reality, just like the Druids. Like I said, Louis B. Mayer was the founder of the Academy Awards, a high-degree Freemason. This is why if you look at the 2025 Oscar Awards, you will see the Masons' most important symbol placed right in the center of it all. As you can see, the stage actually has the Masonic square and compasses right in the center of it. What most people don't know is that before the Oscars was held at the Dolby Theater, it was actually...
Right? So, this guy has to be the devil, man. So-called white man, these top international bankers, they have to be it. Okay, and you got Israelites, all right, top Israelite teachers, so-called, okay, that are working hand in hand with Esau Edom to really lead our people into destruction because they just don't believe the truth. They don't believe the truth. Simply put, a lot of these Israelites and these top so-called top teachers are also have partaken of this of learning witchcraft and sorcery, and beguiled our people. And it's all because they don't believe the truth, man. They don't actually believe this truth. Okay, and that's why doing what they do is nothing to them. They don't have no fear of the Lord in their minds. So let me get this in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3. Okay, and so it says here, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Don't be fooled. Let me get this in the King James, actually. So in the King James, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. What day? A day of judgment, right? Let me just read verse 1 and 2. Well, yeah, the day of judgment. It's the day of judgment and the day of Yahushua's return. Verse 2, that ye be not soon shaken in mind or troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by the letter as from us, as that the day of the Lord Yahushua is at hand, right? Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, right? And who would have to fall away? We would. 70 AD, right? We'd be scattered and fall away, completely kicked out. Not completely, you still got Israelites in Israel, but damn near completely kicked out of our land. And that man of sin be revealed, right? And we fell away, but when you go into what Esau calls the medieval era, the Dark Ages, we were ruling Rome. Go into the history, we were ruling in Rome, but we were ruling in Rome with a bugged out mindset. We didn't, we didn't know we were Israelites. We were calling ourselves, Scots, Britons, so on and so forth, but Esau came up into power around the 1500s, maybe 1400s, and really established, 1300s, mid 1300s, but he established himself in the 1500s. Hence, they coined it the Renaissance, rebirth, Revelation 20, the 20th chapter. So that's when that started playing out, right? That man of sin be revealed, right? And that really started playing out during the 70s, right? Which, with Abba Bivens, who we believe to be Elijah, right? Fulfilling the prophecy. Okay. Because that's where this truth came out of, man. It started flourishing then. Be revealed, and the son of perdition, Esau Edom. Right? And he's being revealed now. So this has to be the time. This has to be the time. All right. There's no way we got 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever years, man. We're completely bugged out. Verse 4, it says, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And, we know that this devil has painted his likeness over the images of the saints of the Most High, Yahushua, and have taken the name of Israel for himself. All right. So he's stolen the heritage, because really Esau Edom's a no people. Remember, he used to be a part of the royal family going back to Cain and Abel, and he was born first. So the inheritance was supposed to go to him, right? But that's not how the Most High set it up. Just like with Esau and Jacob, it was set up through Abel, and Abel was killed, and that was forlonged through Seth. So this man was banished after he murdered his brother. So he became a no people, a fugitive and a vagabond. Okay, so he has to steal everything. It says, verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. And that's the Most High. The Most High withheld this devil, all right, till what? Till he be revealed in his time. right? He got taken down. We ruled for about 1,000 years, and he started coming back into power from like 1500s to about now. We're in 2025. That's about 500. That's about 500 years. Okay, and really, he really came into power over in the Western Hemisphere about 1700s. So he's even shorter than that. But you had an American Renaissance. Look that up. American Renaissance, and you had a European Renaissance. You had many Renaissances throughout the Middle Ages. But it says, verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity, right, doeth already work. Only he, which is the Most High, who now letteth, will let until he be taken out of the way. And so the Most High allowed this devil to rule and to be prosperous and to beguile the world and basically rack up a heavy tab in wickedness for judgment, because this is his story, until that time comes where he'll be taken out of the way by who? Yahweh Shai, right? And before Yahweh Shai will take him out, of the way, and America will be destroyed by nuclear missiles, all right? Because America has been the cash cow for these devils. Verse 8, and then shall the wicked be revealed, right? Whom the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, starting with his truth, right? By the prophets, prophesying, right? And then later on, dealing with the chariots, okay? And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That's right, the host of heaven. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, right? With all power and signs and lying wonders. And when you look up, that serpent in Genesis, it goes into an enchanter, right? So that guy, the man that had the spiritual demon Satan on him in the wilderness, that was teaching Eve. He was teaching Eve's witchcraft, basically, right? And Esau and the Hamites, all right, forward that through Cain, and Esau just took that and repackaged it, and now he's doing it throughout the four corners of the earth by the means of his technology, right? I.e. the wand, Hollywood, with all power and signs and lying wonders, right? And that's why AI is being pushed, because that's all leading to the MOTB. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth. That's right. So they don't have the spirit to labor for Yahweh Shem Shai, because that's true love. Okay? Most High didn't give them that spirit. So they're beguiled, man. They have a different spirit. They're covered by the spirit of Esau, Edom. That they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai shall send them strong delusion. That's why the Most High brought this devil up with great power in witchcraft, because he was to be set up by the Most High to bring what? Strong delusion on them that didn't receive the love of the truth. Okay? That they should believe a lie, ultimately the MOTB, right? And everything else before it. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Okay. Verse 13, but we are bound to give thanks always to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai has from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. Okay, whereunto he called you by our gospel. So when we do these lessons, man, it's just to them that are called to, and really ultimately to the elect, because they've been what? They've been set up, all right, from the beginning. They were chosen. Those spirits were handpicked for salvation in every life that they came into, whether they did wrong or not, man. Yeah, the elect, man, they're very precious. It says, whereunto he called you by our gospel to the obtaining of the glory, right? So we're called to this truth to obtain the glory that Yahweh Shai obtained, right? Of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Let me look at the word Satan. It says he'd come after the workings of Satan. Okay.
Strong's G 4567, Satanas. Satanas.
Right.
Thayer's Lexicon, Satan. Satan.
Right. Oh yeah, this was nice. Look, it says he entices apostasy from Yahweh, Bashim Ashai, and to sin, circumventing men by his wiles. You see that witchcraft, man. Right? Circumventing men. And I looked at that word circumventing. So circumventing. It says it comes from. I looked up the word. Circumvent. Right, and it says surround by hostile stratagem. So this man, it says he came with smooth words, but war was in his heart. Hostile stratagem. His strategies towards the people, especially you Israelites, is hostile. That's why, hey, you leaders that have taken the bag to this devil, man, you're bugged out. You're bugged out. You really think Esau is going to keep you around after he's done using you? That you're actually going to have a seat at his table? Oh man, damn. That's why, hey man, the attitude is gratitude to have this truth. Because hey, 2/3 are gone, but the leaders of our people, damn. These so-called top teachers and so-called leaders, they're gone. It says circumvention, act of outwitting, right? Deception, right? To get around. So this man, that's what he does through. This is what he does. Okay, he circumvents the people. Now, yeah, circumventing men by his wiles. The worshippers of idols are said to be under his control. Right? Hey, by his demons, he is able to take possession of men and inflict them with diseases. And you can read that in Isaiah, right? It says the whole head is sick, right? Filled with putrefying sores and wounds. That's because you're inflicted through Esau Edom's wine, through idolatry, the love of idol worshiping. You're inflicted by the love of idol worshiping. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's kind of what I was saying earlier. It says, on Yahushai's return from heaven, he will be bound with chains for 1,000 years. This is when we were ruling, and Revelation 20 tells you that, breaks it down. Well, if you have the Holy Spirit to understand. But when the 1,000 years are finished, he will walk the earth in yet greater power. So you thought Rome was crazy? You thought, the world thought the Greeks were something, and then they thought Rome was something. But America, it's on a whole different level. That's a whole different whore. A whole different whore. Okay. By when the 1,000 years are finished, he will walk the earth in yet greater power, right? His technology. But shortly after will he be given over to eternal punishment. Damn, so what's coming for you Edomites is it's not good. You're done. You're done. So there was a little bit here, adversary. Let's see, it's a couple precepts that they give you here. Yeah, it says this is 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. And marvel not, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. 2 Corinthians, or 1 Corinthians, 5 and 5, to deliver such an one unto Satan for destruction of the flesh, that the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord Yahushai. Right? Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, so that's it on that. We'll continue on in this clip. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit here.
Sculptures and images of pagan gods that were worshipped in ancient Babylon. This isn't surprising at all, as the Freemasons are obsessed with Babylon imagery, as it represents rebellion against God. They also do this by honoring Tubal-Cain, who was a direct descendant of Cain. The descendants of Cain in the Bible are expressed as corrupt people who were partly responsible for the evil in the world. As you can see, Hollywood is all about
so the Oscars award, that statue goes back to Tubal-Cain, right? So this man has to be the devil. This has to be the whore that the Bible speaks of.
represents rebellion against God. They also do this by honoring Tubal-Cain, who was a direct descendant of Cain. The descendants of Cain in the Bible are expressed as corrupt people who were partly responsible for the evil in the world. As you can see, Hollywood is all about the occult. The Freemasons,
And partly is true, because really we went off as Israelites. All right, but he set up to be the wicked, so he has to be destroyed.
created Hollywood with the same reasons the Druids did, to shape our reality using magic. The magic wands they used to cast spells now became the cameras, and the film is the spell. Since the beginning of Hollywood, it has been used to manipulate and control us, to shape our reality.
So the wand is the camera, and the spell and the film is the spell, right? Hence why they're called programs, television, tele-live vision, so on and so forth.
And the film is the spell. Since the beginning of Hollywood, it has been used to manipulate and control us, to shape our reality and to push certain ideologies for us to accept them. This is clearly obvious when you pay attention to the films they put out, as so many films have so much occult imagery, with a large amount of those films painting the teachings of the occult as good. Companies like Disney has been pushing out this propaganda for decades, and it's no surprise, as Walt Disney himself was a member of the Demolay, a Masonic youth organization for children. It is not a coincidence that Walt Disney was involved in Masonry as a child and then pushes TV shows for children that are rooted in Masonry. This is all connected, and like I said, they are using these films to shape our reality, and they start from our childhood, something that many people don't know.
Right? I just want to get one precept. Leviticus 18 and 25. Yeah, I'm going to get this in the NLT. So Leviticus 18 and 25 in NLT, it reads, because the entire land has become defiled, I am punishing the people who live there. I will cause the land to vomit them out, right? And this is applied to Israel and, the Canaanites as well. But you can apply this to Esau, Edom, because he rules the earth now. And he's defiled the whole land, which is the whole earth. And we know that a place is a people before it's a place. So he's defiled Israel, the land itself as well, and the people through his witchcraft. It says, I am punishing the people who live there, so the world's going to be punished. Okay. I will cause the land to vomit them out. And that represents Esau, Edom, losing his power. Okay. He's going to lose his power. The earth will vomit him out. It's starting with the prophets. Okay. Let's get Jeremiah 16 and 18. Jeremiah 16 and 18. It reads, I will double in this NLT. I will double their punishment for all their sins. So Esau, Edom, you're getting a double portion of punishment, right? It says, I think in Revelation, give unto her double, Revelation 18, right? So what you've done unto us is going to be done unto you double, okay? I will double their punishment for all their detestable sins because they have defiled my land, right? The whole earth, and also the people of Israel and the land itself as well, with lifeless images of their detestable gods. And they have filled my territory, which is the whole earth, Israel, and in particular, Jerusalem, with their evil deeds. So they've defiled the whole earth, which is the Most High's territory, and also Yahushai's territory, because everything was given to Yahushai, with their evil deeds, which are what? Which are forwarded and basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Stimulated, right? Evil deeds are stimulated through this guy's witchcraft, right? Because all it does is entices the lust of life through the flesh. That's what the witchcraft does. That's why people are bugged out. All right, I'm almost done here. Last little bit. Skip ahead.
What really was, no one would support it because nobody wants to be manipulated. So that's why we expose it. If most people knew what Hollywood really was, no one would support it because nobody wants to be manipulated. So that's why they do it the way they did it. If you don't know that Hollywood is manipulating you, you don't care about consuming it. So it's the reason why it's so successful. While people are watching films,
and that's why these people don't care about what we're saying, because they don't even know they're being beguiled, because they don't have the eyes to see. So this truth is really only for the elect, man. But again, you have some Israelites that were brought into the truth. The Lord gave them the eyes to see just for them to be condemned. You know, think about that. That's another aspect, which is it's a serious business. Okay, very serious. Yeah.
Know that Hollywood is manipulating you. You don't care about consuming it. So it's the reason why it's so successful. While people are watching films and thinking they're just enjoying themselves, in reality, they're programming themselves and manipulating themselves. It's the main reason the elite spend hundreds of millions of dollars on films. These films.
Hey, and that's another point I was going to think. I kind of forgot that point. It was that's how you know that the wicked of our people, they know they're going off, but they don't care. They don't give a shit because they've been brought to the light. If there's Israelites that have tasted of the heavenly gift, right, and they've only tasted it just to be condemned, that means they know they're going off, but they don't care. They want to keep going off. Because it's tasteful, it's exciting, right? But it's temporal, and that's what makes them carnal and dead. Scriptures say twice dead, to be exact, twice dead. Right? Clouds that hold no water, brute beast made to be destroyed, brute beasts that are made to be destroyed.
Are clearly propaganda, and it connects back to the MK Ultra program. The MK Ultra program used several techniques to manipulate a person's minds. Many of those techniques were adopted by the film industry, using certain sounds and frequencies and certain pictures. All of this ties together to control the mind. Most of the population thinks that this is a conspiracy theory, but you can literally research everything that I just said. You will find that Hollywood was indeed created by Freemasons. You will find the connection of the Oscars also being created by Freemasons. And it's the same in the music industry. This is why we see so many artists pushing satanic propaganda at award shows, in their music videos, and in their lyrics. They are shaping the world just like the Druids. While the Druids use the wands, they're using the entertainment industry to control us. Even the reason that they're called stars is heavily rooted in the occult. See, the ancient Egyptians believed that when one of their kings died, their souls would rise and be the stars in the sky. And that's what gives us to each of these celebrities that sold out and pushes their propaganda.
Exactly. So how can this place not be spiritually Egypt all over again?
Same ideas that were used in the Egyptian times. While we're in the modern world, everything is connected to the ancient occult systems. They are using these occult systems against us and
right. So while we're in the modern world, right, they're still using these ancient systems or ancient rituals and practices. Hence, nothing's new under the sun. Okay. So I'm gonna close out with these two precepts. First one is Psalms 37. So Psalms 37 and 17. And I got this in NLT, and it reads, "For the strength of the wicked will be shattered," right? So their witchcraft is their strength. Their military is their strength as well, right? It's a blessing that was given to them by Isaac, but it's a temporal blessing, while Jacob was given an everlasting blessing, right? So for the strength of the wicked will be shattered, right? First by this truth, then later by Esau, or Slake, that's Satan, but later by Yahushua himself. It says, but the Lord Yahweh takes care of the godly. Day by day, the Lord Yahweh takes care of the innocent, which is the elect, and they will receive an inheritance that lasts forever. Exactly. That's what I just said. They will not be disgraced in hard times. Even in famine, they will have more than enough. But the wicked, this is why it's so important to be diligent, because we want to receive of the Most High's mercy and his help in the day of his judgment, his wrath, based upon that the idolatry of the world and our people. You want his help, man. You don't want his wrath. Okay. But the wicked will die. The Lord Yahweh's enemies are like flowers in a field. They will disappear like smoke. That's right. They'll be transitory. Let's go from here to Micah. So Micah chapter 2, verse 1. I got this again in the NLT. I'm going to read down to 3. It says, what sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out. And the best believe Esau is hurrying up right now, right? Scripture say he knoweth that he has a short time. How does he know that? Because of the prophets. They're prophesying and the prophecies are playing out. It says simply because you have the power to do so. That's why they do it. That's why they were given the power, right? By the Heavenly Father. When you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family's inheritance. Yep. Yep. That's Esau for you. And our people, man. And our people. It says, verse 3, but this is what the Lord Yahweh says. I will reward you. I will reward your evil with evil. Damn. Yeah, man. Yo, so all that witchcraft and sorcery and demons that you're summoning, and they all work for the Most High. So, the Most High gave you authority over those demons, right? To do his bidding. Now, the Lord Most High is going to use those same demons to plague you, just like the Egyptians and their idols. When you look at there's a term called ecological, right, which is basically the logic of the ecosystem, right? So like lions eat deers, and so on and so forth. So when you look at oh shoot, I kind of just forgot my point. Oh yes, Egypt, the water Yahweh Shemashai. When you look at the idols of Egypt, like the first plague was what? The turning of the Nile, right, which is very important for Egypt, into blood, right? And fishes die, right, because they can't swim out of the water. But what came out of the river was frogs, and the Egyptians had a frog god. So the Most High clowning them. So it's all right. You want to serve a frog god. Now I'll give you all the frogs that you want. Okay. And then when the frogs died, I think what ate them was like locusts, like insects, if I'm not mistaken. But guess what? The Egyptians had a beetle god. So the Most High was rewarding their evil with evil. Okay. Which just goes into a bad time. Right. So, but this is what the Lord Yahweh says. I will reward your evil with evil. You won't be able to put your neck out of the noose. That's right. You will no longer walk around proudly, for it will be a terrible time. That's right. It's going to be a very terrible time for you Edomites in the kingdom of heaven. You will not be walking around proudly. All right. And 2/3 of our people as well with you. It's that time you won't be walking around proudly as well. So you're going to be bugging out, right, for the want of help. And Most High is not going to hear you. You're going to get that dial tone, right? So, yeah, that's it. That is it. Yep, that is it. So, yeah, man, low willingness lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. The lauded to the brothers for the precepts and the information on the comic board. All right, I'm going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rukakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders and the bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. And I've taught me this word in truth and sincerity, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000. And the rest of you that sincerely believe as well, peace and mercy to you and your household. All right? Babu Bal, Kwama Shala, and Shalom to the hopeful elect.